We're going to talk about making rifle barrels today. When I was going to college in Trinidad, Colorado, the head instructor was Bill Prater. Bill Prater and I got along extremely well. One of the classes that I took was barrel making. Bill had made the machines to deep hole drill, to ream and rifle barrels. He worked for P.O. Ackley years before Trinidad College even was conceived, and gunsmithing was taught by P.O. Ackley and Bill Prater. Had a considerable number of students going to that class. I was one of the most adept students in the class, and Bill selected me to help him teach barrel making. Once he taught the class, then I took over as kind of his right hand to further educate the students on making barrels. I made 2 cut rifle barrels during that class. Everybody was required to make 1 during that class session. I don't believe anybody else made 2 barrels. Over the years, I've studied barrel making from various aspects, from cut rifle barrels to button rifle barrels. A number of years ago, I bought a machine that had been making rifle barrels for many years. This particular machine will deep hole drill, will ream and rifle on the same machine by simply changing some tooling. We're going to start here by talking about how things all begin. Barrel steel comes in probably in 20-foot lengths from the supplier. Whether it's 416R rifle barrel quality steel, stainless steel, or 4140 chrome moly steel for rifle barrels, or some other variety, something close to that. These are the 2 most common steels used in this country. The steel is cut to the desired length. Let's say that the blanks are 28 inches, so they cut that steel up 28-inch blanks. That piece of steel is put in a lathe. It's faced on the end on both ends, and on one end it's center drilled and drilled with a starter drill to start the deep hole drill. The next process is deep hole drilling. This is a deep hole drill. This drill has a V groove down it. It's not like a conventional drill. It only cuts on one lip, not on 2 lips. Only cuts on one side. It's carbide that's silver soldered to this V rod, and under various driving mechanism, lined by thread to deep hole drill a barrel. Once that barrel has been deep hole drilled, the next thing is to ream it. This is a reamer. This is a hollow tube. It has holes coming out the side here that oil squirts out. So all the time that this is running and this reamer is pulled through the barrel, oil is squirting out here. It's pushed in here, it's squirted out here to oil this hole in the process of the reaming. I failed to mention that the deep hole drill also has a hole. There's a hole in the end of this drill right here. Oil squirts out there. That keeps the hole lubricated. Once that barrel has been deep hole drilled and reamed, as a rule, that hole that has been reamed, it may next be rifled, or it may be lapped. It could be lapped to a certain finish, certain required finish. We're talking about cut rifle barrel here. This is This is a rifling head. This has a single point cutter here with an adjustment in the end, and this is pulled through at the proper twist rate. This is turning as it comes through the barrel. Let's say a 10-inch twist or a 12-inch twist or whatever it may happen to be. This is set up on the machine with various different mechanisms, whether it's a gear or whether it's a cable run on a drum that gives you the required turn per so many inches. This is pulled through, let's say 4 times for a 4-groove barrel, 6 times for a 6-groove barrel. Each time that this cutter is pulled through, it only takes about 1/10,000th of an inch out. So 4 grooves, it's got to go around to 4 times, and then this cutter is advanced with this adjustment on the end right here. It advanced so that that cutter raises up. It'll cut another 1/10 deeper. So if we've got a 30 caliber barrel, the bore size is 300, the groove size is going to be 308. So that means there are 10 1/10,000ths, 10 1/10,000ths to 1,000th. So that's got to go around the barrel 10 times to go 1,000ths deep. 4 times that's 40 times. So that cutter has got to be passed through each one of those grooves 40 times to go to depth. But you go only 1/10 at a time, graduating up. And you don't go to absolute full size because we're going to finish lap the barrel when we're done. You hand lap that barrel. It's done with a lead lap attached to the end of a rod, and it's pulled through the barrel and pushed through the barrel with abrasive compound, various grits of abrasive on that lead lap. The rod is very much like a cleaning rod that has a swivel in it, except it has a T-handle, so you can push it through and pull it through, push it through and pull it through to lap it. Could also be done on a machine to save on, manpower. Could be lapped that way. I also have on hand here a button. This is a button. This is a carbide button. It's got grooves ground into it with a carbide grinding wheel to form the lands and the grooves in the barrel. Everything else is the same. It's deep hole drilled, it's reamed, it's probably lapped, and then this button is pulled through the barrel by the machine, and there's a helix angle ground on this button that gives it the proper twist rate as it's pulled through the barrel. There are various steps in manufacture, different points in manufacture that this steel is heat treated. In almost any instance, it's heat treated twice. And some manufacturers also deep freeze, cryogenically treat the steel. This actually serves to align the molecular structure of the steel to make it machine better. Crucible, who manufactures 416R rifle barrel quality steel, has stated that deep freezing the steel does nothing to stress relieve it, but it realigns the molecular structure of the steel for better machinability. I'm going to go by what they say. There are some advantages to deep freezing. I'm not telling you that there are not. So anyway, I have barrel making equipment here. I do not make rifle barrels for sale. I buy all the barrels that I use. I wanted to point out here how these things are done. In any high quality rifle barrel, almost invariably is finish lapped for uniformity to actual size. The match quality rifle barrels that I buy are always within about 1/10,000th of an inch of actual size, or is exactly right on size. The manufacturers of manufactured barrels put on, like Remington 700, Winchester Model 70s, or what have you, they are not match quality barrels. They are just simply very quickly manufactured, production manufactured barrels. Fine rifle barrels have to be made one at a time, and made to perfection. And almost everybody that's in the barrel making business makes a very, very good barrel. I find some barrels to be a little better than other manufacturers of barrels. I use what I feel from experience and testing the various barrel steels. Hart rifle barrels perfected the button rifle process around 70 some odd years ago and hand lapped the barrels. Ed Schillen studied under Hart, made some very, very wonderful barrels. I've used a tremendous amount of Schillen barrels over the years. And anyway, a lot of other people have learned from these people also, and other people in the field of making cut rifle barrels. You know, we've got some wonderful, wonderful cut rifle barrels, much better than we did years ago. And mostly some of this machinery has been automated somewhat to advance their cutters in the cut rifling process, but everything has remained pretty much the same after Hart perfected the button rifle process and lap barrels, and other people have perfected some of these things. It's not changed, but the quality and the knowledge, these people, anybody making rifle barrels or doing whatever it may happen to be, the more that you do it, the more that you teach yourself, the more that you learn, the better your product should be. And this is where accuracy has been improved over the years, because these things can be repeated day after day after day with the equipment and one thing and another. And there's other methods of making rifle barrels. I won't go into that. And those are two main methods: button rifled or cut rifled, single point cut rifle barrels. And I find one barrel to be just as accurate as the other barrel, provided that everything has been adhered to, everything has been done properly. And everybody that's making these barrels, they don't have somebody running machinery and doing things that don't know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing, and they make a wonderful product time after time after time. And you know, I feel that, you know, at some point in time, maybe someday, I may make barrels. It's just simply that I'm only one guy